top of your head. Cupcakes or muffins?
A good blueberry muffin.
I like your style.
Yeah.
Favorite genre of music?
Man, I love all music, but soul music is the depths of kind of who I am. So.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Would you rather be hot or cold?
If I'm cold, I can put on blankets.
There you go.
I cannot stand to be hot.
Be too hot. It's only so much you can get
There's
out
only
of.
so much you can do.
Biggest childhood fear? Growing up as a kid, was it scared of the dark? Or?
Seeing abuse, seeing fight, seeing
A lot of stuff that people used to be hooting and hollering about. You were like, I'm cool.
Yeah.
Last one, would you rather sweep with a broom or vacuum?
Vacuum.
I like that.
Vacuum.
Now we can go ahead and get started. Well, Demetrius, sir, I just met you. I've been going on about a half hour ago, and I've been peeping a lot of your catalog, and my good friend of both of ours, Erica Young, she actually linked us up, and so what I'm looking at on this table and behind you is amazing to me.
Thank you so much.
But before we dive into it, where are you from? Give me the beginning of Demetrius. Where are you from? Where's home? How was the upbringing?
I am from Oklahoma City.
Okay.
Born and raised in Oklahoma City. Born on the east side of Oklahoma City in Prince Hall Apartments.
There you go.
So I had a troubled childhood dealing with some issues with my mom and her partner.
Right.
So my grandmother ended up adopting me. So once I got there, life became a little more stable and everything, and going to school, learning different things, fell in love with music, and so started to develop my own self, So just went through the education system, went on to Northwest Classen, went to school with some cats that have done some really big things, and went on to school and studied vocal performance in elementary education.
Sure.
And then I was pulled out of school at the time to go and work in a special ed program over at Garden Oaks Elementary School, and those were severely emotionally disturbed boys.
Right.
And so myself and two other teachers worked to help to nourish those young people's spirits and minds, and to develop them academically. And so we built a family with them. And from there, I stayed there for about 9 years, and then was recruited to go on to another school for an arts program that I worked to help them develop an arts integration program, teaching teachers how to work with young people through the performing arts, through the arts. Then from there, went on and did a reality show called Clash of the Choirs, and I was on Blake Shelton's team.
Okay.
So Patti LaBelle, Kelly Rowland, Nick Lachey, and Michael Bolton.
Heavy hitters, man.
So actually, I always say that we put Blake on the map because it was his first show.
Sure.
So ever since then, he's been on The Voice, and doing it big there. He's making millions of dollars there. So
took off and left us.
Took off and left us. Took off and left us. So, and then with that, just came and then started to invest into what I believe was necessary, because we'll talk more about this project.
For sure. Yeah. And man, I like how you gave me the chronological. I'm gonna jump back just a little bit.
Right.
How was it when you went with your grandmother? Because I can remember I did get the blessing of knowing all four of my grandparents before they went on to glory. But one thing I did notice, like if I needed somebody to be sweet on me, I went to grandma and them. How was it growing up for you? Was she a disciplinarian, or did she just love on you?
She was both.
Both?
No, she was both. She didn't let you, get away with anything, but she expected the best of you, and expected the best of me. My grandmother had 10 children, and then took in 3 more, which were my brother and sister. And this project kind of touches on that, because it's kind of roughly based loosely on my childhood life,
Sure.
So with that, she is definitely a disciplinarian. She get that water hose. That she had a piece of a water hose or whatever. She keep handy. She had boys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she had a lot of boys. So I think in all there were 7 of us.
Mm-hmm.
So the older ones were big boys. They try to get at each other and all of that. So she get right in the middle with that. But then she turn around and love you right.
I love it.
So that's it.
That's that balance we need.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
When you talk about developing your love for music, was that something that found you, or did you find it?
I think it found me. Um, my father is a vocalist,
Okay.
so and my brother is a classical pianist.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, you got it honest.
so for me, I would watch and hear music on the radio and then
Mm-hmm.
mimic these vocalists, and I was like, okay, you know, this, that, yada, yada. So by the time I got to the fifth or sixth grade, I was killing talent shows. Like, I was like, how do you know how to do that?
Yeah.
So I've been practicing since I was like in the second and third grade.
For sure.
So yeah.
What was it all singing, or did you have other tools in your shed at that time too?
Well, at that time, it was just performance and singing. I did have some. My grandmother had put me in some acting classes and some productions. I was in the Wiz when I was a kid, through a production and a pageant that a lady used to run called the Miss Hal Jackson pageant. Her name is Sylvia Driggins. Big ups to her
Gotcha.
and the love that she has for children in Oklahoma City and the work that she's put in. So that's where some dance came in. So I do have some choreography credit now.
Yeah.
So, but at that time, it was more so singing, developing that through.
Down the line, you diversified the portfolio, though.
There you go.
I like that. I like the way you
There you
think.
go.
And then your work in with the severely emotionally disturbed boys.
Mhm.
How enriching was that experience? And the reason that kind of touched me personally because before I became an educator, I
Mhm.
started off in the behavioral health field. I
Okay.
had middle school boys with some of the same issues,
Yeah.
and it was the greatest experience I could have had
Right.
before I started instructing. 'Cause
Right.
It taught me the relationship aspect.
Right.
How did it affect you? How good did it make you?
Well, it was really good because I think like this. Don't send me anywhere where I can't be the most effective that I can be. So in working with them, it allowed me to um, stretch
Sure.
myself, my creativity, my thoughts, the curriculum, um, the activities. So it was wonderful because it made me better.
There you go.
So while they think I'm making them better, they're making me better. So it's just like full circle, full circle. I don't know if I shared with you that in high school I started working for an agency called Skyline Urban Ministry where I studied a concept called imaginal education where we work with inner city youth
Right.
to re-image the value and worth in their lives. So I got to take this work into the schools with me and then teach children to reimagine what they want their lives to be like. And so when you start that, and try to and challenge them to do so, it takes a while.
Takes
But
a while to
once
break through.
it takes a while, but once they can tangibly kind of have some experiences, it begins to change because I believe that if you want to improve the life of a child, improve the experience,
Mm.
and then you'll begin to see change.
Man,
Yeah.
that's a profound statement.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
And there's another statement that I've always heard: they don't care how much you know till they know how much you care. How true is
That's
that
right.
in your experience?
That's most definitely. Kids know. Young people know. If you care for them, don't care for them, care about, they know. There's a genuine. I say that God's recipe for young people never changes.
Huh.
The method that's being delivered to them changes. So when people talk about what these kids and are what these kids are doing and what they're not doing, kids are just given what's been given to them. No deposit, no return.
Mm.
So that's it. If you're not getting nothing, that means society and community and the school and the church or whatever it is are not pouring into these children.
Right.
So
In other words, we ain't teaching until they're learning.
that's right.
I like it.
That's right.
Now you got to tell me. I'm looking at your shirt. I'm looking at your apparel. I'm looking
Okay,
on your
okay.
YouTube channel. Tell me about Kids Urban Groovezzz, man. Because I'm loving that. I'm seeing Michi. I want to know where the development of Michi came from.
Okay.
Is that loosely based on a person, or is he just a character fictionally altogether? Take me there.
Well, Michi
Uh-huh.
and Kids Urban Groovezzz, and I want to start with the book. Hey, Michi, you're the greatest. And so then I have.
Yes, sir. Very dope.
So here we have the book,
Yes, sir.
and then we have the audio version of the book, and then this was the first single called "The Great One"
Great.
from the book, and so we have Michi, and then we have Kids Urban Groovezzz. So I wanted to develop a line of books and literacy that celebrated and promoted positive images in urban children.
Okay.
So in doing so, and then with my background being in arts integration,
Yes, sir.
it had to have music with it. It just made sense. Then there was no music for urban children that fed them, that fed their minds, their spirits,
Right.
their hearts, their souls,
Absolutely.
And if you search for it and search for it and search for it, it's the hardest thing to find. So that means if I don't have it, other teachers don't have it,
Sure.
right? The resources,
It's got to start somewhere.
it's got to start somewhere. So I said, well, I need to start developing it. I said, if it is to be, it is up to me. So I started to develop this project, and things just kind of started into place. And Kids Urban Groovezzz is the music line.
Right.
So Michi inspires the music line for children, for urban children.
Michi was the first development of it too.
Yeah, Michi
Okay.
was the first development of it. And then if you think about it, in the hood, everybody knows Amici.
Yes, I know
And
one right now.
Everybody knows Amici. And so for me, I wanted to take that name and then reimagine it
Mhm.
and make it a positive experience. Everybody, Amici, you know what I'm saying, a household name.
Right.
And I just thought it'd be dope. And then my name is Demetrius.
Come on now.
So, and a few people call me Michi, but that wasn't
That wasn't what it was
that
about.
wasn't what it was necessarily about. Me deciding to do that. I just thought it was a fun name.
Sure.
Yeah, so everybody loves it. And so, but now my name is Michi everywhere I go. So Mr. Michi or Michi or whatever. So,
Man, what would you say is one of the biggest misconceptions of urban youth? Because it ain't all bad.
Oh no,
It ain't all peaches and cream either, but it ain't all bad.
I would say that they're misunderstood.
Mm.
Yeah, I would say that they're misunderstood, and I believe that if you talk with them and dialogue with them and workshop with them, you'll get to some truths that you're really not ready for, because they'll dig up some things that society has laid out
Sure.
and that they probably don't necessarily agree with. Because when we teach not who's right, but what's right,
That's right. Absolutely.
what's right. And so I think that's probably the biggest misconception, is that they are kind of misunderstood and far too often just misguided, misguided peer dealing with peers and all that kind of thing. And so it takes me back to when I said what you put into a child is what you get out of them. So if you don't have rec centers and swimming pools and skating rinks and events and
Different outlets for
and
them.
experiences for them, what do you expect?
Yeah. They're going to go into survival mode real quick.
Survival, that's right. And once you go into survival mode, all you know how to do is fight.
That's it.
That's it.
That's the simplest breakdown I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Now, with you, what's the first step in your process of, maybe recruiting is not the word, correct me if I'm wrong, but you getting the regime that you've built among these kids that rock with you? What's the first step? How do you reach out to them to get them on your team?
We hold workshops.
Workshops, okay.
So, for instance, when we shot our first music video,
Uh-huh.
we put it out there that we're having a workshop and we're looking for young people who are interested in dance, music, and acting. And then we send out flyers and just promo. And who
Like
shows
a
up
one-stop
is,
shop, huh?
yeah,
Boom,
who shows up is who shows up now. Oklahoma City's kind of different because they don't believe that something's going to be as big as they're just not. If I was in Atlanta,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
It'd probably be booming.
The masses would have been there. But I got who I need right now, and I got who was supposed to be there.
Right. Do you think that's a matter of us just waiting until it pops before
Yes.
we want to be a part of it?
Most definitely, waiting until it pop and seeing it done right, and
Yes.
seeing it done right. Some things have to kind of be done over our heads for us to kind of when we can't reach it no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
That's a fact.
yeah.
How many would you? What's the ballpark number of the students that you have in your organization at this point?
Currently,
Currently.
well, there's a core group of young people, and I think there's 8 of them. I think it's 8 of them. There's a core group who
Pretty much all the same age.
pretty much all various
Okay.
age.
Various. That's
They're
what
various ages, and what they do is bring the music from Kids Urban Groovezzz to life.
Yeah.
So they perform the music on stages,
Mhm.
and I'll just say it. I'm very blunt when it comes to this. white children have Kids Bop,
Yes, sir.
black children have Kids Urban Grooves.
That's right.
So it feels like us, sounds like us,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So, but it also feeds us. Now, those are just top 10 hits that they're playing and recreating. But I wanted to make sure that it was something that they could take with them for the rest of their lives when it came to verbiage. And so,
How do you deal with regular? I don't want to say regular, but let's say kid stuff when it comes to something like shyness or stage fright. How do you? I would imagine you've dealt with some degree of that in the time that you've been in this space. How does one bring a kid through that to let them know, hey, listen here, you're not to be embarrassed. Shake loose, break loose, and do you.
right. Do you? That's interesting because we have one of the songs tells you, do you?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, um, I think it starts with building. When you build up the kid and let them know, because kids have a culture of their own.
Yeah, they do.
So with or without you, they're going to move, dance. It's just in us.
Mm-hmm.
It's in us as black people
Yeah.
to move, dance, and to do it together, and culturally, age appropriately.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So it's
Right.
there. Now, if you want to platform it, it's a different story. So then they learn how they can platform it and make it work for them. And they're like, wow, I didn't know that I could be a part of something like this.
Sure.
But yes, you do. So, I mean, yes, you can. So now take it and make the best of it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no time for being shy. Being shy ain't gonna get nothing for you.
Mm-hmm.
You see the rest of the kids getting down, get down with them. That's what we came for. We showed up to show out. So let's do it. So that's pretty much it. And they pretty much, man, they tag each other. It's because they become this unit. And so the other kids have expectations for them. And so the whole group has expectations. So you just put them up there, you let them go and do their thing because it's them. Our kids create culture.
Right.
Without the culture, we would not have TikTok.
That's right. That's super booming right now.
TikTok is super booming without us.
Fair enough. Just imagine when we put us in it.
Now,
I see where
so
you're
we
going.
need Rick Rock.
Right. I like it. I like
Because
it.
everything, or bit bop something, because
Mhm.
everything that young people in culture have created is taken away and then it's expanded by European culture.
Right. Been
And then it
appropriated.
becomes popular. And it has, I was watching videos today and they were talking about Motown music
Right.
and then how it's been, music was taken and then re-recorded and nothing but a hound dog was, was done. And then Elvis Presley took it and then re-recorded and then it became popular.
Right. And then a lot of times they place it in an entirely different genre after that too.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
Appropriation, as they
Oh
say.
yeah, most definitely.
Well, what would you say the biggest? You know what? No, it ain't no challenge. We talked about that. The way your business and your brand has expanded now. How was it from the beginning to get it to grow to where it is now? Was it just one division and then all of a sudden it morphed into year after year you're growing branches and adding more students? How did it go?
Well, that's what's happening. It's adding branches and then growing. It's growing just like a tree.
Sure.
Just like a tree, you plant the roots,
Mhm.
you plant the seeds, and you get roots, and you go from there. And then the branches begin to grow, and then you trim the tree and make sure that everything is, But I had a vision, and I still have a vision. And so, pretty much to answer your question, I'm just simply working towards the vision, the ultimate goal, and through that process, putting together the parts of this puzzle that make this machine, that create this machine. You know,
Yes, sir.
that's the easiest way I can probably answer that.
I like that. I like
You
that.
know?
When it comes to creating or recreating the music and creating the dances, what are the parameters for the kids? Because I would imagine you're policing them in some way, or no, or you just letting them, hey, take the white gloves off and just get busy.
Well, they perform together as a unit.
Okay.
So I'm working with them in regular performance is different from working with in a structured environment. Because currently I'm working on the stage musical,
Okay. That
so
sounds like more structure.
they'll have to be, yeah, structured. Now they can jig and do and dab and do
All
what they
that.
do, but then there's a particular time where you're supposed to be on the stage. So they got to learn staging. They got to learn design. They have to learn placement. They have to learn blocking, all of that. But they can do it because it's in us. It's in us.
You just digging down in there.
Yeah, I'm just challenging them. I'm just challenging them.
I'm telling you something I saw last night, which was probably the most fascinating to me because I like words, and I love when kids can grab a hold of that microphone, or even without a microphone, just address the multitude.
Okay.
Without being nervous, without being shy, and speaking. And I'm seeing the poetic division of what you do, and I was so fascinated by that. Who creates the speeches?
Currently I do all the writing.
You do all the writing?
Yeah, I do all the writing now, and as we move on, we will focus on particular writing workshops for young people so that they can have the experience of writing. And when we talk about Kids Urban Groovezzz, what it looks like for me is a team of talented young people, producers, writers, and all of that, getting credit for these songs and musics that are being put out to the world. So when it comes to poetry, that'll also be a part of it. So if they have submissions that they want to submit and it's good enough to be added to one of the books or to one of the pieces or one of the plays, or let's do it. Let's do it.
Writing and being able to talk. I'm just a fan of all of that because they're growing up real fast in a way, and I love that. You
also mentioned being able to take the poetry and then add it to bring it to the world, sit in front of a microphone, and then address the world. Jaquan is here with us.
Oh yeah, Jaquan.
Jaquan is here with us today, and
it was fun.
We can, talk with him, and he can share some of the things that his experience.
I'm definitely down. Come on, get you a seat, Jaquan. You know what I mean? You get to switch roles a little bit.
Switch roles. I'm gonna let him have it for a while.
Yes, sir. That'll work. First of all, speaking to the mic, let everybody know your first and last name.
Jaquan Boyd.
Jaquan Boyd. Okay, you're a student at Millwood Arts Academy, right?
Yes, sir.
And I happen to work there too, so we've crossed paths quite a bit.
Right.
Now, how did you first meet Demetrius right here? How did you get introduced to my man?
Well, how I got introduced to Demetrius is he was having an event at Millwood, and I met Demetrius. I've known him since 4th grade, 5th grade.
Okay.
So he had an event at Millwood, and so you had to have your paper. You had to have some type of parent agreement to get into his event. So I was last minute with my paper, so I almost didn't make it. But how then I made it into there. So, I liked his music and, respect and stuff. He had a couple of songs that I really liked, And so then I went up to him after the event. I was like, okay, what is it that I could do to get into your group? So then he had already knew my mom and stuff. So they locked in, and then I went to a couple of the events, and then next thing you know, a dance practice schedule, and basically that's how I got into the group.
That's big time, man. See, when you said words like practice and schedule, that makes me think almost along the same lines as being involved in sports. So would you say a regular week, right? How often do y'all get together and practice and have these rehearsals?
I mean,
regular week. I know we under the corona situation now.
Right, well now, but usually before let's say we have an event to perform on March 27th. Okay. I'm sure we'll probably do from March 15th through March 22nd. A week practice.
Y'all go once every day, y'all go every
or,
day? All 5
I wouldn't
days?
necessarily say every day, probably Monday, Wednesday. Tuesday, Thursday, If we do Tuesday, then we do Thursday. It just depends on how, the schedule will go. How everybody's mama's schedules and times, how when they get off work and stuff, how it goes.
Yeah, because that's real life.
Right.
What would you say your favorite thing about the experience is what? Or what would you say your gift is? Are you solid at dancing? You solid at writing? You solid at singing, rapping? What's your specialty?
I would say that I am a dancer, a singer, a writer, and I, do a little bit of poetry, basically.
A little bit of poetry?
Yeah,
man,
if that's what you call it.
Yeah, I like that, man. We ain't gonna shy away from the beautiful word of poetry.
Right.
Now, are you a kid who naturally, it doesn't even matter to you to step out, whether it's one person out there in the crowd or you got 1,000, you're gonna get down?
It doesn't even matter. I mean, as long as the crowd, as long as I'm feeling the vibe from the crowd, then they gonna feel the vibe that I got.
I like
to bring it every show.
Yeah, has it always been that way for you, or was it something you had to develop over time?
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say I was shy or anything. I just had some I had some stuff that I had to get done, you know, before I got out there. Cause I would just get out there and just give it, and I wouldn't have the steps that I would need to give it. I would just give it and won't have the proper steps that I would need to have.
You just go for it with
right.
You had.
And so now I've been developing, trying to get better and just give it all I got now. Now that I got the proper steps.
I like that, man. Here's another thing. One thing I've learned about young people, because I've been your age before, it's not always easy to take coaching or to take criticism. Have you gotten better at it with, you got Demetrius, who I can tell, I just met him, I can tell he's a perfectionist.
Yeah.
So I know there's been some times probably where he had to challenge you to be better than you were.
Right.
How'd you take that, man? Were you able to receive it?
I was, because I knew that it was right, and I knew that I'm going to have to take the criticism if I'm going to be in the group, because it's helping benefit me and it's helping me get better so that I'll know what to do. Mm-hmm. So I try to take all the criticism I can to do better and just stuff like that. I just want to do better. I want to make sure everything's right before I hit the stage and give it all I got. I want to make sure that everything is straight. Mm-hmm. I don't want no problems before I hit the stage, I just want to.
Natural leadership qualities right there.
Right.
Regular school day for you. How do you balance your books? Your academic experience, because I know there's a standard you gotta be held to. How do you balance that with all the extracurricular going on? Is it easy or is it difficult?
School comes first.
Absolutely.
If I can dance and sing and do all this stuff, then I can get my work done.
Right. You gotta get that done first.
Yeah, I gotta get my work done before anything, because grades come first before I can dance and DJ and all that stuff.
Dance and DJ and all that stuff. So when's the next event, man? When was it supposed to be before the world shut down?
See, look, our last recent event we had at Ralph Ellis Library, and that was February the 25th, and we had a mini musical there basically.
Okay.
And we rocked it.
Mini musical. Now, when you say mini, does that mean it was less time than how long it would usually go? Is that what mini means? Or
I mean, it was basically a whole hour show. We got it done in a whole hour, 7 to 8. We ended at 7:59.
Started at 7.
It started at 7 sharp. 7:02, 7:03. I would just say, somewhere about 7. But we did it in a whole hour and stopped at 8.
And a full musical would be 2 hours.
A full musical.
So that's why I basically said a mini musical, basically, because it was an hour.
Twice as much in half the amount of time.
Right, and we got it done.
That's big now. Now I know that this may be a regular, corny type of question, but I'm asking to you anyway. I'm guessing that you spent some time thinking about your future once you get out of school. What is it that has your interest that you want to get into once you become an adult?
Well, see, look, I'm obsessed with electronics, so if it's anything when I get out of school, I want to be successful, but I will always want to be in some type of electronic type area.
Something in that space?
Something in that space that I love working with computers, because I've been good working with computers since I was 3. Straight up. Just good working with phones and computers and everything since I was 3. And I've just been so obsessed with it just ever since. And I just love electronics.
And so with you 7th grade right now, what are you, 12 or 13?
I am 13.
Got your phone on you?
I do, basically.
Man, there's a part of me that wishes, I would have gotten as handy with the electronics early like y'all did. But they didn't really just take off and start popping until I was in the 9th grade. So I was about 2 years ahead of y'all. And I don't even know what's regular knowledge for you guys now. Y'all know so much so early. But that's a great thing, man. Now, with dance, well, I don't even say dance. Let's say fine arts altogether. Not really. It's getting to the point where y'all have made it cool. It's just as cool as sports. Right. So, are you an athlete?
I'm not.
You're not?
No.
But when I be seeing you getting busy down there with all types of the athletes and everything and PE, how do y'all merge those worlds? How do you get somebody who's a sports guy to come over there and come rock with you and come dance with you?
Everybody has their own type of thing. Right. So if they're just athletes, okay, athletes. But it's a lot of athletes that dance and sing and stuff, but we don't know it. They cover it up. Mm-hmm. And so when you meet somebody who loves to dance and loves to and they're an athlete too, you could just bring them, because I'm sure they can peep what you're doing. Sure. So they can be like, bro, how you do that? Can I join or whatever? I'll be like, well, you can just tell them, workshops coming up, so come and give it all you got, and that should let you know. It just depends. Everybody has their own thing. They have their own way of doing things.
Right.
It
looks like you found yours.
I did.
I got 2 more things I want to throw at you right here.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah. Don't sell yourself short. And yeah, you're gonna spit some stuff for me after I give you these 2 questions. All right. First thing, what would you say is the best piece of advice anybody's ever given you? It could be something small or
I
something that was
mean,
huge.
I mean, you're great. You're created for greatness. That's what people tell me all the time. You know, you're created for greatness. You know, you can sing, you can dance. You know, you can do this, you can do that. You know, whatever you put your mind to, do it. You know, don't sell yourself short. It's just all any like quote that's good, and someone tells me, I accept it. No matter what, any compliment, quote, anything, I just accept it because I know that that's gonna better me, and I can just go back to it like, okay, they told me I can do this, I can do that,
And you believe in it.
and I believe in it. I believe in it.
What would you say was your lowest point? Maybe the most embarrassing moment you ever had. Like you ever bust out a move on stage and then fall and bust your butt, something like that.
See now, it has been a couple of shows, or I wouldn't necessarily say a couple of shows. It just has been something that I have did a little crazy. I might just start bust out dancing or bust out making noise or something like when it's a professional moment. I mean, it has been a couple of times, but I'm bettering myself at doing that stuff. You know, now I try to sit quiet and stuff at shows because I know I'm an energetic person. So I like to move a lot. I like to, you know, so that's why I try to, you know, chill and stuff while we're at events, and I try to. When I want to do all the little energetic stuff, I save it to when I get on stage to start doing all that. So, you know, when I get up there, you know, I won't run out of energy. I don't want to use all my energy to have low energy when I get on stage, because people can be like, okay, well, why is his vibe so low? You know? Yeah, I just saw him dancing and stuff backstage. Why is it, you know, low now? So I try to save that energy till I get out there to burst it.
I like the way you think, young brother.
Right.
Well, listen here. I was told that you got a couple of bars for me, man. You got something you want to spit. I'm all ears. I'm gonna sit back and let you do your thing. Talk to me.
Okay. Well, I guess it's poetry, recitation.
Yes, sir.
So it's a poem called "The Great One" by Michi. It took some time for me to understand that I was created by the hand of the one who designed the universe, the moon, the stars, and the planet Earth. My teacher tells me that I am the great one, and that's what I believe. That every day that I imagine, I can one day achieve. I'm unique and unrepeatable. Yes, there is only one, from the bottom of my feet to the top of my hair, that grows straight towards the sun. I decide my path in life. That power lives in me, as I represent my community and make them proud of me. My intelligence gives a determination for me to achieve all of my dreams and goals in life. The world really needs me. Man, I love the skin I'm in. It was a gift to me. And once you learn to love yourself, you too will agree. I'm not too proud to say it loud. My uniqueness makes me me. I make the choices for my life, and I choose to be free. My imagination is filled with creative ideas and possibilities, connected to the tools that I need that are placed inside of me. If no one else has told you how great that you can be, here it goes. You're the greatest. Let it start with me.
Gotta put it together for the young boy. Listen, man, I'm here to tell you, you every bit as great as you say you are. Yes. All right, keep rocking and keep rolling. I know you don't necessarily need to hear it from me, but I'm gonna tell it to you anyway. You're on the right track, man. You don't let anybody stop your shine or your grind, brother. You're going to make it happen. And however you want, wherever you want to take it, that's where it's going to go. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
Yeah, man. Demetrius, come on back down, have a seat with us, man. This how we going to close. Because I always got to, you know, close the show with at least a couple of gems. Now, obviously, on a more personal note, we're dealing with something that's affected us directly and indirectly. You know, with the coronavirus situation. Man, when the world shut down, what were you doing right in that moment? I remember I'm sitting with my parents. We had a restaurant. We eating, doing what's against the rules right now.
Right.
And then I got the word that, hey, man, go home.
Right.
What were you doing? What both you guys doing whenever y'all got the word that, hey, man, we're going to be chilling for a long while?
We were preparing for spring break.
Right.
Because we were about to have a workshop to prepare for our next music video. Mm-hmm. And just over that, with the news and everything, it's like, what are we going to do? Because right after workshop, then I was actually scheduled to start going into 4 of the schools.
Sure.
For Oklahoma City Public Schools, to start delivering the message of greatness to those 4th graders and creating some leadership with them. So I'm like, man, this is
really blocking our shine right now.
Really, really, in the way of everything. So that's kind of where I was. So I had to really process that. So we're working on doing some strategic online things now, even for that now. So
This is for some more creativity out of everybody.
yeah, most definitely.
Now, was there one point where you thought that maybe we were overreacting to it? Because I know there was for me in the beginning. I thought it was sort of like trendy. One spot shuts down and it's a domino effect. But in these recent weeks, I'm like, oh,
Yeah, right. I think it all was kind of because it was brand new,
sure.
so it was the unexpected. So you didn't know, and you still kind of don't know what to expect.
Right.
So we don't know. So like when you say when something was just kind of I don't think that's necessarily the case. We need to take all precautions,
True.
especially in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I won't get into how soon we should have been taking precautions.
Yeah, hello.
But I'll just say that I spoke to a woman the other day, and I asked her where she got her mask from. And she said her daughter got it from her. She's a physician. She got it for her in January. And she knew this was coming.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And that makes you think about some things.
Podcast.
Yeah, you know what I mean? What is going on? So,
She did.
Has your life been turned upside down in terms of the precautions that you take, or are you still living fairly the same as you were before?
Yeah, I just try to, as I would advise for us, is to read up on your metabolism and how to keep your metabolism built up and stabilized, and get you some elderberry and some oil of oregano,
Right.
and some vitamin C and D. Plenty of it. And I just try to do smoothies, and I've actually lost a couple of pounds from
Look at you.
doing what you're supposed to be doing. And Jaquan
Right.
keeps trying to make me eat, but I'm trying to stay focused.
Have to focus.
Yeah.
You got some discipline, man. 'Cause as long as I'm awake, I'm thinking about what I'm gonna eat. I gotta get better.
Right.
So I've been trying to eat more salads and stuff
See,
like
there you go.
that.
Gotta get your greens in you. But here's the final one I will throw at you, and this is really the first thing that jumped into my head when I first saw you. What's the first step in entering a school and saying, hey, I mean, what pitch are you making to the powers that be, and who do you got to go talk to get your greatness presented?
Actually, what's been happening for me is people are reaching out to me.
Oh, that's how you know you got something good.
Yeah, because when I first went to Millwood, I had already talked to the superintendent, who had spoke to me about possibly teaching music there.
Yes, sir.
And I just told her that I wasn't in a position to be stable, to have a music program, to run a music program, because of all that I had going on with Michi and Kids Urban Groovezzz. And she was like, well, come and at least do something for myself. I was like, okay, I'll do it. So I went over to the 4th grade class, the quad squad is what they call themselves. And I got all of the 4th graders, all 3 classes, and presented Michi, and from there they went on the rest of the year, like in performances and everything, doing songs from the Michi and Kids Urban Groovezzz soundtrack, and that's how it is. That's where it is. And then of course somebody else said, well, I want that for my kids.
Yeah.
I want my kids doing that. But our kids are music. So music programs in elementary schools are so important. And so for me to be able to go in and then not revitalize, but just kind of give it some jumper cables.
Yeah, every now and then we need to be invigorated.
Right. Give it the possibility. That's what it is. To be able to show the possibility of what can be. So those kids turned on and they was ready to go. Like all children in urban schools are. They just have to be challenged to do so.
I saw that particular clip when you were at Millwood. I did double test. I know, all right, click on this one.
Yeah.
That's what I meant these days. And them cats, first of all, they were hanging on to every word being said.
Right.
And then a lot of times, while you're talking, they're in there dancing.
Right.
Jigging.
Right.
So they sit
They're
on the
feeling
floor or
that.
in the
Right.
seat.
Right.
And I'm
Most
loving
definitely.
it. So you brought it out of them.
Most definitely. So yeah.
Well, gentlemen, I appreciate y'all taking time to come and sit with me, man. I'm so grateful to have made y'all's acquaintance.
Definitely.
Please keep everything rocking and rolling. I do have your contact now, so this probably won't be the last conversation we have, and I'm going to be watching things from a distance.
Most
gentlemen.
definitely.
All right? And y'all keep washing them hands and stay safe, baby.
Right. Right.